Hey everyone, it's Dana from Flowthemes here. In the video we are going to discuss about WordPress 5.5. We'll go over what's new and exciting about this version, how to correctly update your WordPress without having any downtime, what to do if your website goes down after the update, and just a couple of things that you need to know at this point. So a lot of new things actually have been added in this version and we are pretty excited about it. If we'll just start, the first one is the fact that all the images from the WordPress area are now lazy loaded, and this means that overall your reviewers will have a better experience, your page speed will increase, and so on. So secondly, we do have new blocks and new templates that you can use inside your WordPress editor. Again, we'll just go over that in a second, and I will show you directly how to do it and how you can create actually your own blocks, which is really exciting in case you have very same content or structure that you want to use across several pages. Next, we do have an automated sitemap. So you don't really need to use a third-party plugin like Yoast or other ones to submit and to create a sitemap. This will be made by default for you. Next, we have the option to automatically update all of our plugins when a new version is available. That's only for public plugins. And I think that's basically everything that needs to be mentioned at this point. So we'll just start with how to update your WordPress version. So inside your dashboard, you'll just have a notification in here. I already updated WordPress for this website, but it will be positioned in here and it will say something like WordPress 5.5 is available, please update now. Before doing so, I would strongly recommend to create a backup for your website. So you can either use a plugin for that, you can use Flow Launch, you can ask your hosting provider to just give you a backup. Once you do so, you can proceed and update WordPress. It will take a couple of seconds before doing so, but basically once the update is completed, you just need to make sure that one, you refresh the page and then you clear your website cache. One important thing to note at this point is the fact that if you're using a classic editor plugin, you need to disable it for now if you want to use the new features that are related to the new blocks and so on. So you just go to plugins and just check if you have this plugin, and then you deactivate it if you want to use the Gutenberg options. Next, we'll just go to our pages and I will just create one test page and we will work in here. Alright, so as you can see here, already some things have been changed. We have this background, we have a different interface for the blocks in here, and overall the dashboard looks a bit different right now, and this is good. So what we'll do, I'll just start and show you the blocks that you can use. We'll just browse all, and as you can see, there are a lot of elements in here. We need are the patterns here. So these are the templates that I mentioned. I will just select, for example, this one, and it is applied really simple. And then when you are going to click on whatever element you need, here on the right side you'll have a couple of settings, so you can check and change, for example, the color of this block. You can change the size of it, of the title, and so on. And basically you can do that for each element that you have inside this pattern. And once you do so, you can, of course, for example, let's assume that you updated this area with your own content and now you want to use the very same content on a different page. What you can do is actually you can save this into a reusable pattern. So to do so, you're just going to select the content that you need. You'll go to settings, and here you'll click add to reusable block, and then you'll add, let's say, yellow title 2 columns. Alright, and once you did so, to access the blocks that you created, you're just going to go, for example, in here, browse all, and in reusable blocks, you will just see all the blocks that you saved so far. So you can play around with this ones. There aren't so many layouts, to be honest, but this is a good thing to start with. Again, you can just create more of your own. One important thing that was added, the blocks directory was expanded. So let's assume you want to use a slider in the WordPress editor. You can actually do that. So what we'll do, we'll just type in slider. And as you can see here, we have this message that no blocks were found in our library, but we can actually download something from the public library. So let's assume I want to use this slide block. I will just add it to my library. And now you might be wondering, okay, I added these blocks here, but how do I display them on my page? The principle will work very same as it does with the WordPress content block. So basically this block will contain all the information that you add in here. So you can position it as you need, and you can add, of course, more blocks and just create a custom layout. It's just important for you to note that you cannot add two WordPress content blocks on the same page. So you cannot divide, for example, to have one part of it on top and then another part at the bottom. So if you add content in here, it will all be displayed stacked one after another inside this WordPress content block. The fonts, the colors, the fonts will be taken from the theme. The colors will be taken from the ones that are sitting in here. So basically that's everything that I need to know at this point for the blogs. I would recommend to just play around with it. There are a lot of cool things to add. Let's assume you want to have 2 columns of text. Again, you can just do it like this and just play around again with the options given in here. Next, we'll just move to another cool feature that has been added, which is the auto-update options for plugins. So right now, I just want to mention one thing, the fact that this feature will be available only for public plugins. So this means that plugins that are not paid, for example, or that are not limited to a specific plugin. So if we speak about flows plugins, we have Flow Forms, Flow Social, which are public, so they will have the auto-update option, but plugins like Flowpack or FlexBlock, because they are related to flow themes, they will not have this option. So in order to enable this for a specific plugin, you need to have an outdated plugin. As you can see, everything is up to date here for me, but basically whenever you have a public plugin that is outdated, you'll have here a notification that will say enable auto update for this plugin, and you just need to enable that. So you cannot enable this option for all of your plugins, and I would not recommend to do so. Just select the ones that you actually need to be automatically updated and just do it for those, and then you'll just be good to go. And now, what's important for you to note is the fact that all of our themes and plugins have been tested and have been adjusted so they are compatible with this version, but please note that not all plugins have been tested with it, especially if there are like some unknown plugins or plugins created by junior developers. So what it's important to know is that in case you update your WordPress version and you see that something bad happens, like website goes down or some things are off on your website overall, what you need to do is just go to your plugins and deactivate your active plugins one by one until you find the tricky one. And once you do so, there are 2 options. You can either get in touch with the support team for that specific plugin and ask them to solve the issue for you, or you can wait until that company will release an official statement that they are compatible with WordPress 5.5. So that would be basically everything that you need to know at this point. If you have any questions or any issues, know that we're here to help you out, and don't forget to share your feedback with us and show us what you've been building with WordPress blogs. Bye bye.